Chris Level covers Texas Tech, RedRaidersports.com, sideline reporter, Texas Tech football. NC State tomorrow in one of the more intriguing and better matchups in college football. What would a win there mean to this program, and how would it be viewed?
Yeah, it's going to put you in the spotlight a bit, I think, if you pull it off, because I think people, look, there was not a lot of expectations for this program outside of this city and this building from, people picking the league and all these things, and a first-year head coach and all that. But I think it would put you way ahead of schedule. I think it would, especially with a quote-unquote backup quarterback. But I think it would just show you that, Joey's got these kids believing and that they're pretty good. I don't know how good they are, but, yeah, I think it's a fun opportunity, because if you don't get it done, you're not going to be criticized for it. You're not supposed to win this game, but if you do get it done, look out.
Let's say they get something going. How much are we going to look back later in the year at 4th and 20 in overtime against Houston and they converted?
Yeah, that was like seeing Bigfoot or something. I thought, oh man, this is not. Yeah, I mean, like I can't believe what I've just seen here. But 4th and 20. I mean, I'll be honest, and I talked to Donovan this week several times about it, and they'd called the same play earlier in the half and it didn't really work. But when they called that play and Jerron Bradley is just running wide open, I mean, I think almost too open, and Dana Holgerson did not handle that well at all. But I mean, and they get 21 yards on it, and then you get new life. And at that point, that's when you think, okay, we're winning this game, is kind of what they all had said, because you convert that one and look out.
You look at the schedule: Houston, NC State, and Texas back to back to back. And I know they're worried about the Wolfpack. And with what we saw with Texas and Alabama, and then Kansas State, Oklahoma State, how about these next 5 weeks, including Houston?
This schedule on paper, man, as you looked at it, you kind of talked through some of this is brutal. I mean, it is hard. But being around Joey, he, talking about just this week, he's like, yeah, it's going to be sold out. They're going to be yelling at us. It's going to be really hostile. NC State's really good. He's like, I can't wait to, it's going to be so much fun. And I'm thinking he looks at it completely differently than most people potentially would. And I think his players are buying into that too. And that's worth something. I don't know how much, but it's definitely worth something. But yeah, it doesn't get any easier. It just kind of makes for a fun beginning of the season, because there's a lot at stake here early on. If they can survive it, man, they're going to set themselves up to be in good shape.
What does it say about Donovan Smith? We know the quarterback room was deep. That's something that Joey and everyone knew, but that he comes in, but it's not that he scores the game-winning touchdown. It's not that he also had some brutal mistakes, but that he never allowed that to affect the next play or the next snap or the next series.
Yeah, I think he's somebody that you have no idea if his team is winning or losing if you just watch his body language and things like that. And he told me a story this week about, hey man, I broke my finger when I was little and it's pointing the wrong way, and my mom walked up to me and she's like, oh no, did you break your finger? And he's kind of freaking out, and he learned from his mom, just stay steady, even keel. And I think it's easier said than done, but he's been able to channel that. And I think that steady ship that he's kind of in charge of right now is good for everybody involved, because he's pretty young. This is just going to be his 6th start, and they're really young on offense. They're really old on defense, but on offense, there's a lot of young pieces. So the upside is massive, but there's still going to be some rocky patches, but having a steady guy at the helm certainly helps.
What is NC State's biggest strength?
I just think they're really their biggest strength is their lack of weakness.
Huh.
There's nothing that they're not, just solid or good at. There's like 10 starters, I think, on defense back. There's, I think, a bunch of kids that are about 23 years or older. It's kind of a boring football team, if that makes sense, because they're not super flashy, but you have to go beat them. They're not going to beat themselves.
Chris Level, RedRaidersports.com, Texas Tech Sideline Reporter, 365 Sports.